All right, everybody. My name is Crypto Corey. I want to thank you for joining me. If you would, please click a like on this video and subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification if you'd like to get more updates. Today, I know this is all a VV channel mostly, but today we're going to talk about a philosophy, something I wish that more people would get to know, especially in the crypto and Web3 space, and that is the topic of building wealth. Obviously, you're going to hear all kinds of gurus out there giving their advice on how to build up your wealth, how to become a millionaire, how to be financially secure, whatever the terminology is. And, for the most part, most of them say roughly about the same thing. But what they're all missing, what most people miss, and what you need to understand about building wealth is building wealth doesn't start with you DCAing into your investments. Building wealth doesn't start with you buying something and holding on to it and it becoming more valuable. Now, those are longer term wealth building exercises in the form of investments, or those are short term wealth building exercises that is just like, in my opinion, it's almost like a gamble. I mean, maybe a little less risky than actually going and playing the lottery, but for the most part, you go and you make a bunch of deals, you go and you invest in a bunch of different stuff. If one or two of those things pops and it pops hard, you've all of a sudden just made a ton of money. But that's not really how you build wealth. So I'm going to give you my guidelines for building wealth. And the first one is very easy to understand. The second one is the one that I think most people miss and most people don't want to hear. So the first one, of course, is spend less than you make. So just plain and simple, do not overspend. Don't spend money you don't have. Don't go into debt. Don't take on too much debt at the same time to where you're having to pay all this stuff via credit and it prevents you from saving money. So the first thing you need to do is spend less than you make. So that's that. And it sounds crazy. That is the number one. I can tell you that there are tons of people I know that they every time they get money, they spend it. Now, I'm not saying they're not spending it towards houses and cars in the future, but every time they get money, they allocate that money out to non-investment ideas, to non-business making ideas. They put it into themselves, which not a bad thing, but you need to be able to grow your money. Number two. So most people would think right now it would be about DCAing or investing for the long haul or doing your own research or something like that. That's where many people and I would differ. The difference is, for wealth building, real wealth building, is you need to be the man. I mean, like the man. Or if you're female, you need to be the woman. You need to be that person, that clutch, that key player. That's what you need to be. And the way I could describe how would you view that, it's like this. So this is kind of a story. So there was an old cruise ship that had an old diesel motor. And this diesel motor was like 30, 40 years old and stuff. And it just stopped running. It stopped working. And they hired so many people to come in and take a look at it, and they couldn't get it to work. They couldn't figure it out, and they spent all this money, and they had to get this ship up and running. So finally, they find this guy. He's got 40 years of experience in ship engines and diesel mechanics. So he's got this 40 years of experience. He comes on the job site, all these people looking around. No one's been able to figure this problem out for the longest time. He comes in and he takes a regular ball peen hammer and he hits the motor one time. Motor starts right up. The ship works. Everything was fine. Everything was correct. Everything worked out. And he sent him a bill and called it a day. Well, when they got their bill was for like $100,000. And they're thinking, what? All he did was come in and bang a hammer one time, and he's charging $100,000. So they hit this engineer back up, and they go, hey, we would like an itemized bill to see how you're justifying this $100,000 bill that you're forcing us to pay for you doing like 2 seconds worth of work. So he does. He obliges them. He sends them an itemized bill. The itemized bill was for a $2 hammer and 999,900, like basically the whole bill was for a $2 hammer, and the rest of it he labeled as his technical expertise and experience. So the moral to the story, I know it's a little bit of a bombastic statement, a little over the top, but the moral of this story is, when you're the man, when you're the woman, when you're that clutch person, you are a generator. You personally generate utility. Just like we would think about NFTs. There's no purpose to having an employee if the employee doesn't provide you benefits. And that's what you need to look at. You need to look at your NFTs like they're your employees. If they're not providing you benefits, if they're not growing as an employee, then what good is your investment into that person? So what you need to do is you need to be the person that has the knowledge, that has the title. So you need the title, you need the knowledge, and you need the personal expertise to be able to handle these situations. So number one, very simple, spend less than you make. And the number two, I would say the second most important thing is you need to have the knowledge in the industry, and you need to be needed. You need to be the person that is so needed that when you charge your rates, that people will pay them because no one else can do what you do. I want to thank you for joining me. Again, nothing I say is financial advice. My name is Crypto Corey, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good day.